No Strangers Here. Book 1 in the Count Curie novel series. And I have read her other series with the whole family and the married couple now that have the whole family that own the bar. And they're more like cozy mysteries. And this was less cozy, but it was very complicated. Massively, massively complicated. I'm not sure if I'll read it again. Welcome to the Daily Reads Book Series. I'm Christine, K-O-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smancy stuff going on here. And there's a thing on the screen. It was an awful lot. I don't know if I'll do these or not. I saw this and thought it was a good series. And you always start a series from book 1. And I tried really hard and we have Cerise Griffin. We have Detective Inspector Cormac O'Brien. We have Detective Sergeant Neely. We have Finbar Malone, who's a fisherman. We have Dr. Eamon Wilde, who's a vet, and his wife, Maeve. And they are Dimp's parents. That's your lead character is Dimpna. Danica is Dimpna's son. No. He's somebody else's son. Ben is her son. Paul Bryan, and then Sean, the guy that raped her years ago. Aisling, and Nia, her father's former housemate. There's all these people. I was so overwhelmed by this book. The amount of characters. New characters, tons and tons of characters thrown at me. Tons and tons of characters thrown. So there's two different situations going on here. The guy gets killed on the boat, and he gets killed on the boat, or left on the front of the boat, and they have painted Stone's last dance is the clue, and his clothing is a clue, but they don't know yet, and he doesn't have any idea all his stuff has been taken from him. And so Detective Inspector Cormac and Detective Sergeant Neely observe the crime scene. The victim is Johnny O'Reilly, and he is 69 years old. He is a wealthy real estate and wealthy horse raiser, and his wife is Rosen, and she has her own issues, her own massive issues during the book. There is, in the beginning, there's a secondary thing at the massive end, like the last 2 chapters it comes into play. So I won't let that go. But in the beginning, it's believed to be horse poison, horse put down. And this poison came from Dimpna's father's vet office. And then she's also, so we're trying to solve the murder, but then Dimpna can't get over that name. Who chooses that for their main character's name? It's Dimpna, and she's having issues with her son. Her son tells her he's in Spain with his girlfriend. He's in town. He's in town the entire book. It takes her the entire book to figure it out. And she's decided she was never going to come back home again because she was raped when she was a teenager, and her son was the result of it, and she doesn't want to ever go back home and see any of those people. It's a close-knit town, and everybody knows everybody's situation. And so she's going to open up the shop, and she's getting out to people, and she's getting with the animals, and he talks to her, Cormac, the lead detective, talks to her mom. Oh, that's another thing that messed me up. There's so many points of view there's too many points of view for me to follow the book. Cormac had his own, Dimpna had his own, her mom had her own for a couple of chapters. Some other people had their own point of views for a couple. It was a lot. It was a lot to really follow. It was a lot to unpack. Very heavily detailed, reasons at the end, massively layered reasons why all of this was done. Motive was very massively layered, while to it was just a lot. It was just a real lot. I'm not sure I can do this again. But Dimpna arrives in town, and her father's got dementia really, really bad. So he's taken to the hospital. She decides to take over his clinic. She's getting to know his workers, his animals, his patients. I was, this guy had this dog, and Dimpna rescues it a little bit, and she's going to return it to the guy, and the guy's like, well, it's not my dog. It just showed up here the other day, and I just started feeding it. And he didn't want it, so he gives it to Dimpna. So that was kind of depressing. And then whenever Dimpna's mother Maeve talks to her, she talks to her via postcards. And she gets this postcard, and it's not from her mother. There are some clues as to why it wasn't from her mother. A lot of threatening notes. Then we have a runaway kid. And you have to figure out how the runaway kid story fits into the whole situation. And they end up rescuing her, but the kid's got a whole bunch of clues to the murder, too. And then, I have this highlighted. I'm not sure why. But, I think it's all about the rape. So, yeah, we'll just let that go. So there's a whole bunch of additional information thrown at you about her past, and the other characters' past, and Nema's past. And Miss McGuire, they talk about the fact that the bottle was stolen from her father's office, and they reported it, but nobody really investigated the situation. They also talk about the victim was Johnny O'Reilly, and there's so many people he was murdered by the boat, and there was so many people that had been on that boat that night, and nobody's admitting to being on that boat that night. No, I wasn't there. I was other places. And then there's a blackmail scheme going on for some other people. There's just so much in this. It was a little much to follow. It was a lot. Paul Byrne is is an ex-cop, and he's messing up the case. They're questioning Cerisi. She saw somebody come off the boat in dark clothing. Was it the murderer? Was it somebody else visiting the victim? Was it the blackmailer? Was it, you learn all this stuff later. It's just so much. Superintendent McGraw arrives to question Cormac, where he is on the case. He's the big hotshot. What's going on? What are you doing? He has to report to him. They have a group meeting. She talks to her parents a lot. She talks to her mother a lot. She finally has this meeting with this couple that explains to her that the cat is out of the bag, that her son knows who his biological father is, and she's got to deal with all him. And then you got to deal with the murder situation, and then there's another murder situation, and then there's a blackmail situation. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's a very Hayden, very layered, very detailed, very plot-driven, very layered, very detailed book. And that's as far as I'm going to go with this, because I've got a headache now after reading this. Because it lost me in a lot. It lost me in a lot because there was just a lot to it. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Have a good one.